Good morning and welcome back to another video here on Jones Family Farm. It has been quite a while. The work hasn't stopped. The videos have. Just for a little bit, kind of took a pause. Got a lot going on where we are in southeastern Massachusetts, not too far from me. We have a vacation destination that really kicks off for the summer on Memorial Day weekend, like many places. But we have an area called Cape Cod. If anyone's from the area, the Cape is a crazy busy time. This time of year is for any kind of service provider for that area, and obviously I do the Firewood bundles. Got a little bit of fog there. Firewood bundle stands. I am up to, got to be close to 50 bundle stands now. It really blew up overnight. I have some video of those going up and some pictures I'll put in. It's been very busy building those. Working in the greenhouses for all of our stuff, all of our seedlings, kind of just everything you want on any kind of farming, agriculture space in the springtime is just hectic. I've been figuring out, the box truck over there. You can see that. That box truck's been put to use quite a bit. I have been getting all kinds of orders in for raised garden beds. Did a few of those, turnkey beds, firewood sheds, greenhouses, you name it. I'll throw some pictures in towards the end of some of the recent cooler projects that I've been doing lately. But what I haven't forgotten about, and I have some video, again I'll put it in, is the monster splitter. So I have a lot of footage of the monster splitter in action. A little spoiler, it kind of takes really big logs and turns them down into that, manageable. This oak right here was probably, it's probably a quarter or maybe a fifth of what that log was. It was, I want to say that one was like a 26-inch diameter or so. I cut them all down to 97, 98 inches. So by the time I cut each one, with the accounting for the kerf of the blade, I will make 5 cuts, get 6, pieces out of it, and then not have really any waste, or maybe a 1-inch piece at the end to cut off. You can see there's a few more pieces on the deck. Coming up next, I have a massive pile over here, which I will show you of this stuff. It's just been really non-stop lately, but here's the pile that I still have to go. That's probably all of, that's tall shipping containers. That's all of 10 feet tall up there, about 20 feet coming down to here, and I still have another pile of logs to run through. That'll make another pile at least double this size, and I've already ran through about half of this as well. But here we go. The meat and potatoes of today. Changes in the Woodyard. There've been a lot. See, my John Deere conveyor is gone. I end up actually trading it for this Timberwolf 24-foot conveyor. Needed a bit of work. It's a dual pulley system. May end up changing that over to chain drive because these pulley belts have been giving me some trouble. Probably end up changing that over to a chain drive or updating it somehow. Who knows, maybe even throw a hydraulic motor on it and make a little power pack for it. But needed a new plate down there at the bottom, the trough plate. It's a little bit worn belt, but it's a like 18-inch, 19-inch wide belt with paddles. I had some grizzly bars made for it up here. There's my little catch can going down to the dumpster. But there's my little grizzly bar setup. Had that made for it. Let's see if I can get you a better angle of that. Yeah, it's kind of filled up, but those are the grizzly bars I had made for it. It does a very good job in separating everything out. Had them custom built by my hold on. was only a very little bit of processing, and I dumped a bit out when I dumped the water, but this is what it leaves a pretty clean product. There's still a little bit of trash afterwards, but gets about 80% of it out, especially on some of these older logs. There's a little bit more trash just because they're a little bit punky on the outside, which will get sorted out when it gets stacked. But this is kind of one of the, still gotta do a little bit more work. It's got this little plate right here that I gotta get cut off so it doesn't catch everything right inside there and get it halted up. But the biggest thing is this guy right here. That is a 12-way wedge for this EcoPro 300. This wedge is really cool. So I had my mobile guy again come here and build this. So here is a view of the face of it a bit. You can see, if you can see, all the blades, or all the knives have a little bit of a step back to them. So we're never cutting more than one piece, or more than two cuts, I guess, at the same time. So the factory 4-way is step back, you know, a little bit, you know, from here to here. And then I step back one more time to this guy to split up here. Step back another time to split down here. And then the last time to split the bottom two. These two, I can't get my hand in here. This one here and that one down there gets stepped back a whole nother time. So there are a lot of different step backs in this, and it works great. I've run it for probably two cords now. I've run through it. I've had maybe 2 or 3 jam ups, and the last one was simply because I put white oak through it, and it's definitely not, I did not design it for white oak. It is mainly designed for straight grain oak, maple, and mostly pine, because I do so many pine bundles for the Cape. I get a lot of straight sticks of pine, so that thing will just be able to eat through it and make very uniform wood every single time. I also have him, my mobile guy, making, gonna take this 6-way wedge. I did order a new 6-way wedge, so that way I have one at all times, a regular one, to go through the rough stuff. I can't see that very well. That didn't work. Well, taking this 6-way wedge and gonna turn that into a 10-way as well, or 12-way. Haven't decided yet, but that's gonna be a different design. Mainly just gonna put more pieces right here, and across the top, so that way I get uniform pieces on the next flip, you know, the next cut and bigger stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it'll be an 8-way. That's gonna be turned into an 8-way, and then I have a brand new 6-way sitting over there on the tailgate of my truck that just came in. But using that monster splitter, taking everything down from, you know, 20 or 18, really 16 and up, you know, 16-inch diameter and up, down to, you know, 8, 10, 12-inch diameters, works phenomenal. It's worth its weight in gold, because I end up getting able to get a lot of free logs from it, and people will even have some log trucks coming here and drop logs off for me for free that are oversized, that perfectly straight grained, just maybe too big for a sawmill or too big in general for their processor or whatever it may be. They're all straight grain stuff that's going to make premium, you know, bundle wood in premium restaurant, you know, cooking wood and everything else that I make. So without further ado, I've been talking a long time. Let's get to it. Alright, so there were a few pieces that had a spin. You know, these were some pretty big pieces of red oak for this machine in general. Kind of towards the top end and probably like 14-inch diameters, which a 6-way has no problem with, but obviously this 12-way, you know, so even though it's stepped, you know, but no pieces got so stuck where I had to break out a sledgehammer or anything else. And if the conveyor didn't break one of the pulleys, the one right off the motor there, broke one of the belts. If that didn't snap, it wouldn't have had, you know, as much issue, you know, obviously clearing all this, and the machine's still trying to push all the wood forward as it's splitting. This wedge is obviously not for every single piece of wood. There are going to be some hang-ups on it, but overall, nothing I had to get a sledgehammer out for. A few pieces like you saw that I had to, you know, get the PV out for, just to push them back and push it on a different way on the wedge. It's a 12-way wedge. This is a EcoPro 300. I don't know the exact tonnage. I think it's like a 20-ton cylinder, so not that much. You know, it's still on the, you know, this is still, everything else is still, you know, original to when I bought it, besides the wedge. And I did take off the, you know, the regular conveyor that it comes with. So now I think that's called the EcoPro like 250 maybe is what it is. It comes without it. But so that way it didn't steal some of the flow from, you know, the splitting wedge to go to the conveyor. And I needed a longer conveyor anyway. But you can see this 12-way wedge that I had made makes some very nice firewood. Yeah, a lot of scrap. That's why I had the grizzly bars made as well. There's a lot of trash in here. That's a nice piece of kindling. Some pieces not so perfect. You know, some knots and stuff like that, and it pushed it right through. Maybe I just got a good processor. Some people say they have trouble with their regular 4-way or 6-way wedge running oak and beech and everything else. And no, I don't run beech through this, but we don't have a whole lot of beech around here. And usually when we do, it goes to the mill for trailer decking because people do like that. It's very hard. But this is kind of where I got to wrap this one up. Gotta go get a new belt. I will put on some more videos and footage of what I told you about earlier, the big monster splitter running, the firewood sheds, and a few other things that we've been up to. So I will be at the Maine Loggers Expo this coming Sunday. I will be there to kind of take a look around, see what else there is. This Range Road processor isn't going anywhere. But we'll see, maybe something else will be coming back with us. We'll see. But thanks for watching. I have a lot more coming. You know, I'm really kind of getting into the thick of the summer, so a lot more bundle delivery, firewood shed setups, you know, convenience store setups coming down the line. And thanks for watching. See you again soon. This is my new to me box truck. You can get a video of it for a view of it from the front. And you guys have probably all seen box trucks before, but this is my box truck. It is a Isuzu NPR HD. It is a gas engine, which is great. It's a Chevy 6.0. It's only got like 100 and something thousand miles on it. I was under $5,000 in buying this, which was, I think, a great purchase. It's like $4,500 actually. But show you a little bit of what I'm doing in here and how I'm using it today. It is a rainy day today, kind of on and off, but I'm using it as a dry space to make my bundles. So my plan with this box truck is I went and bought a bunch of these U-boat carts. Stock carts are 16 inches wide, so they hold a bundle very easily. You can stack them up. I can fit about 30 1 cubic foot bundles on one of these carts. And I got these actually for steel. They're between $20 and $40 a piece on all the Party City and Big Lot stores local to me that were closing. So I went and pretty much bought all of them out. So that was a steal and a half. But I got like 30 something of them, 32 of them now. Pretty much I can fit 14 in this box truck. And I'll be able to keep the other, you know, what's it, 18 already pretty ready to load it up with bundles just like this. And the point that I'm making with doing the bundles this way is making them right off the bundler onto these U-boat carts, is I don't have to handle them in extra time then. Or if when I was stacking them in the totes before, I'd have to take them out of the totes and load them in the truck. This box truck could only fit like 6 totes, and then I'd have to carry a pallet jack with me, and it'd be a whole different story. So these U-boat carts are the easiest way. Most of my stands I can back right up to. It does have a lift gate, which is the key to all of this. I do have to replace like it's a metal lift gate because it is rusted out. But pretty much the whole point of this box truck is that it has the lift gate, so I can be able to, you know, run these up and down easily. And all I have to do to handle the wood again is, you know, roll them into where they're going. If it's, you know, away from the back of the box truck, roll them to it, and then, you know, unload them. But that is kind of my streamlined, oh, sunlight there, streamlined, simple way to deliver all of these bundles. Now